So, this looks good, this looks good. I think it connects more without taking too much space of the column.
Did you choose the title for the show, or was
Yes.
it them? Yeah.
Yes, it's
Can you
Orphaned.
speak a little bit on that? Like why this name?
My paintings are born in crisis, and they were born from the anguish of a younger version of me that was very anxious when he discovered the amount of damage that the humanity has done to the living and to the climate. And so, orphaned from a stable world, orphaned from the possibility of utopia, orphaned of the past power of painting. We still have the medium and its plasticity, but not its strength. As orphaned, we have to find a way to reconfigure our strengths, our forces, our power to make it more real, more accurate for the present time. And so we are kind of condemned to have this heritage without having the sense of this heritage. In the secret of this situation, there is some celebration that is at play, because it means that you can recompose. So that's why the show is called Orphaned.
Take the necklace behind the shirt.
Of course. Exactly. I didn't realize it was there.
Well, sometime when I'm very busy, I do my emails while working. This way I don't have to do them at the studio. I was in high school in Paris. I did a scientific course. I hated it. I discovered at the end of the high school that applied art studies exist. Mm-hmm. And it was a shock for me. I was like, are you really serious? This is studies. I want to do that. And I did, until the master degree. I was first in Nantes, then in Toulouse, and I did a master degree in graphic design. Yeah. I've been a bit in Berlin, but then after I went back to Paris, I tried to find some work. I found some terrible work in advertising. It was like really to have money to eat and pay my rent. Really quickly, with a friend of mine, we decided to create our studio, our graphic design studio. Yeah. And it was a great time. I loved it. It wasn't a secret, but kind of. I started to paint again in my room. And I was at this studio, and I had this friend that was a painter, that is still a painter, and that was living from painting. And one day I showed him what I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, but it's nice. You should like paint bigger size." And I told him that, yeah, maybe, but I don't know how can I do that. Actually, I think it works.
This room is quite a bit dark, right?
Yeah. No, but I think it does do the job, and no, I'm very happy.
What do you feel now? I mean, it's a very cheesy question, but I'm sincerely interested. What is like the first reaction you have now?
You know, sometime when you experience something new, and this is kind of new to be in this gallery with such a big show in terms of amount of painting. I've never did such a large show. And sometimes when you are doing something for the first time, you are almost living it from the outside of you. You don't really feel what's really happening. You're just like almost spectating yourself now. No, this is too much on the right. You're right. And maybe if you just go there and stop. I wanted really this show to work as a wall and to have all the painting that kind of respond to each other. You can find elements that connects each painting, this red abstraction that is literally the inner fire as much as the guts, as much as the body. You can like really have those iterations in every painting. Also, the show was really designed as a parcours en français, as a path.
Yeah, as a walkway.
There is really a first grasp, an attraction, then you can discover something more catastrophical, like with those big painting. Then you have an echo of the column with this room that is red, that is like blood red, and there is a conclusion. So really this was all set up. Hey, if you want, you can make yourself, I would not say home, but
Comfortable.
yeah, comfortable.
So what's on your mind for today?
Well, I would like to go further with this painting. Yesterday I started this one. I want to do this is the first layer. I try. I don't say I'm succeeding, but I try to make each layer interesting now. I wanted this background to have the feeling of liquid fire in a way. So I tried. Cheers. I need to move everything. I almost always try to paint figures that are the size of a human being, at least my size, I don't know. This way you can come closer to reality in a way. At first I did everything on Photoshop, and then after I copied everything, and it was 5 years ago, and it felt stupid because I was feeling that I was replicating what I did on Photoshop. Then after I decided to do everything on the canvas, and it felt frustrating because the composition felt unbalanced. I don't know, I hate when the composition felt unbalanced. I cannot help it. I just hate it. and so I decided that I will do all the composition by drawing, and I use like a light table. And I draw a lot with the light table, I reshaped, and then after I put it in Photoshop and I do the drawings on Photoshop. And this way I had like a perfectly balanced composition, and then after I left everything after the composition that could happen to the painting. This was really connected to the reading of The Birth of Tragedy from Nietzsche and the dynamic between the Apollonian and the Dionysian pulsion. And I was also very curious about Francis Bacon, who was a big Nietzsche reader and was, I think, in my opinion, I never heard him talking about this, but I think he was trying to do a Dionysiac painting. And this is the most annoying part of every day. Every piece of art eventually is a self-portrait of the artist. It cannot be otherwise. Maybe this central figure in a group where the group acts without interacting with it also produce this weird feeling of being surrounded by your community, but also you cannot feel other thing than being alone, because at the end of the day you still feel alone in your life. It feels very dramatic, but it's not. You are the only point of view that gives you the access to understanding of the life. So I think maybe I wanted to create a process of identification. You know, here it's in front of this big curtain, which is very theatrical. Here's the main figure has different colors than the other. The other are all together. Sometimes you do things you think after. Let's go. The important is speed. I want paintings to be like an accurate depiction of my, experience of life. And I'm not saying I'm feeling painting our bodies, but life is made of different strengths and organism. And if painting will be a living thing, it will be made of all of the strengths and all organisms that are working together, but also confronting each other with different speeds, different strengths. In the end, all these smaller entities will in French we say elles vont faire corps. How can I translate it? Will be they will hold the body together. And a painting is kind of, if it wants to mimicate or to feel to give the sensation of life, you have to have all of these different strengths and speeds that are combining and opposing each other. And so I try to create different speeds, different rhythm, different texture that will combine and be in symbiosis or be in like fight or confrontation. And if it's well done, at the end, your painting will be a body, and the body will be held together in a balance. You are alive because all of these organisms are fighting. If one of these organisms is winning, you will die. You know, in a way. Like, so yeah, I try to have all the speeds. So this is the way I found sense to my life, making paintings with speeds inside of them. One time it was funny because I was in the gallery in Paris at my show, actually. We were three in the gallery, me, a friend of mine, and a guy. I think the guy didn't realize I was the one that painted on the wall. And at some point he came to me and started chatting with me. So I was chatting with him, but he didn't know I painted the painting. And he told me, don't you think it's very strange what he paints? Like, you cannot tell if it's tremendously ugly or magnificent.
What do you think? Do you think they're ugly or beautiful, the creatures you've made?
I don't know. I think I would be lying if I would say that I'm not seeking some sense of beauty. I think painting, for me, the way I like it, has to be a pure, raw sensation, impact, blast, I don't know. It has to shock me in a way. So I try to provoke these feelings through my paintings. I want them to be visually shocking in a way. Shocking not d'une manière subversive ou sensually shocking. Painting is about capturing sensation, and I realized the affection for the sublime. All of the artworks that I really enjoyed in my life were connected to sacred in a way. And so I was like, okay, this is a sensation. This is something that is really driven my art interest since so many years, but I just didn't know this was called this way. And so if it's a sensation, I want to capture it and I want to try to understand how it works. May I deconstruct it, see what systems create the appearance of sacred, and how could I translate it into paintings? The act of painting itself is sacred because if you do it well, it creates a moment where something is appearing in front of your eye, in front of yourself, and this moment when everything matches in your art and everything just clicks and you see some elements of life appearing with authenticity through, in my case, paintbrushes, are sacred moment. And so through the painting I live kind of this experience in both ways. The experience of the moment where I see things appearing, and hopefully the experience of making a wall painting as a unit that functions as the unit of sacred. Maybe because of the word art in itself, that creates a category. I like to talk about it as an experience of creation, and maybe experience of creation is something necessary to the human and doesn't have to fit under the word of art. If this is necessary to human, maybe there is something also sacred that lies into this.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Oui, on est deux sur place. Ok, merci beaucoup. It was a distant me that was thinking this, but at the beginning, these characters were like a bit of a projection of a distant humanity. Like the background were empty, and it was for me. It was because the background were desert, and it was figures, a group of figures that was trying to make community together, trying to make small pockets of utopia by building communities and bonds between themselves into a desert. And the desert could either be the desert of our planet or the desert of our existence. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so good.
Hey everyone, I trust you're well and I hope you're enjoying our new film with Théo Viardin and Galerie Kandlhofer so far. Some of you who watch our films regularly might know that we put quite a lot of time, effort, dedication, love and also money into the production of these films. And in a world where we are able to make more of these films, we will be in need of some support. And if you are able to give this support and don't want to remain a silent visitor but become part of our community, I want to encourage you today to become a hometown friend, which means you will get exclusive bonus material from the shoots with our artists. There are discounts on our print magazines, for example, episode 4, The Way Home, which we recently released. And also what we're introducing now are 2 collaborative art prints that we created with Galerie Kandlhofer and Theo Viardin. Those are also discounted for hometown friends. If you want to support us, please check out those links in the description. Get your art print, become a hometown friend. Thank you very much for watching and I want to send you straight back to the film with Theo Viardin.
Thank you. Okay. One second, I will help you. You know, I find it very convenient on this painting to have this strange orange on the background, so I will try to reproduce this.
You mixing acrylic with oil?
Yeah, I use acrylic for the background sometimes. Most of the time, actually. I don't like it. This is not orange enough. It's better somehow. You have to work on speeds, and especially with acrylics because it dries. It dries very fast, but also it gives you flow. We could be more gestural. It's also satisfying, the underpaintings, because like it have a very open becoming, so you can do mistake, but also you can be very confident about your mistake. The more you advance in the painting, the more it's stressful because you close possibilities. This is bad. This is the one that you witnessed the first layers, no? It's something about the painters, because the painting is something very weird, very anachronistic. We have an heavy burden of the heritage of what he's painting and the nobility of painting and the almost aristocratic aspect of it, and we are kind of condemned to live with that. And it's also weird because painting and painters are always self-referencing, like referencing the past painting of artistry, and it's kind of like in a loop.
It will be overpainted at some point, no?
Yeah, most of it.
Why is it so important that you take so much time for these steps right now?
I realized through the years that
it's some kind of inverted archaeology. You know, there is a genealogy that links all the layers of the painting, and all the layers are important because all the layers can give, not birth, but like it helps to build the rest of the painting. And also I realized through the process that all the layers matter because you build upon them. Now I try to make each layer of the painting satisfying. In a way, if I would stop at any point of the painting, this will still be a good painting to me. I try to work this way. It's not always a success. Sometimes I get in a rush. It's the details that are important in the end of the painting. Working on under layer is also maybe a way to learn, like to learn how to paint this figure and to be prepared for the final layer, which will be the main layer. And each layer I'm painting this, I learned about their shapes, their dynamics, their texture, and it's give me lessons for the final layer, I guess. But sometimes it's hard because, like, it's the artist torture that you know that things isn't right. You are seeking for something, you don't find it, and you continue. And these moments are very frustrating. But it's cycles. It cycles with moment of joy. So yeah.
Where is the joy? Is it the finished painting or is it the painting
no,
itself?
It's the process. The full joy of this is the whole process. Each painting is the mortal enemy of the previous one. It's a phrase from Gerhard Richter, but I think it's very true. Just you use it to go further, and the process brings me joy. I'm happy when I see things happening under the paintbrush. I'm happy when, I don't know, I see a whole composition that feel balanced. I'm happy when I see a beautiful face appearing under the paintbrush and feels like life to me. And these are sacred moments I seek into the production of the painting.
That's the moment when the music fades in.
More especially working on painting that are actually human, like human body parts, human faces. It really gives you the thrill of the human creation. You are almost feel like you are playing with life, like creating a life. And there is really sacred that is working at this time. And this happens really when you are in the flow and you're almost out of yourself and seeing yourself producing this image that just feels real.
Salut! Big day, already rolling.
I was trained already. Well,
nice.
Here we are again.
Yeah. Now, having a conversation, we can inquire a little bit into what it is that people see, because also your friend Axel Fried, who wrote this really excellent press text, he makes a reference to the paintings being nonsensical in a way, like they carry imagery. Yes, this is on the forefront of the canvas, but what that means is maybe nothing.
Yeah,
it's very a bold statement, but there's something in there that I find interesting, because you spent like a year making work, and then someone writes it doesn't make sense. Like, do you think this will be transported to viewers who come to your show tonight, that they will see that? Or
there is not literal, at least for me, literal narrative And I'm reproducing what makes me feel when I was younger, to be in a museum and seeing all this art history and not knowing about the theological part of it, and just seeing these figures that feel sacred and that feels there and that give you sensation, but not without like the narrative knowledge. And maybe the art is the place where the lamb on a painting is just a lamb and not the symbol of something more. And maybe this is the most interesting, because it's really about the sensation and maybe the power that lies in sensation. What do you think?